What up, guys? Chef Beardsly. I wanted to run the Pro Moto. As you can see, I upgraded the swing arm to metal, in here to metal. What else did I upgrade? Swing arm, all blacked out, obviously. Added a little bit of stickers. The reason why I went all blacked out is because when you go riding with somebody or like a group of friends, there's always that one guy that had way more than everybody else, if you know what I'm talking about, but they're always rocking a black dirt bike and they run all day and it shouldn't run. So that's why I blacked it out. I like the look, think it looks cool. But that's not what this video is about. It's crappy out. It rained all morning, like downpour, so it's nasty out. So I have my 12S DBXL that, if you guys haven't seen, I converted a gas one to 12S. Absolute beast. I used the 2-stroke chassis, had to drill some holes, cut some holes, and it's bent still from when it was a 2-stroke, and it worked really well. But one of my friends in Jersey gave me a 2.0 chassis. So this setup should just whoop ham right on over. He gave me a bunch of extra goodies, some Vitavon carriers. I think the other ones are HID for the front, FID diff housings, which are already on this. I already have red ones on here, but I'm going to keep these as spares because I might have something coming later on. So these would be upgrades for something else, but I also want to replace this with metal. So he gave me a bunch of parts. So I really want the chassis to be swapped. So I'm going to do that. So let's do it. We got the center diff off. Boom. This is what I had to do with the stock chassis. I had to cut a notch here for the spur gear to be able to spin. This is where the one used to sit for the gas. I had to drill some holes so the whole thing would mount up. I had to drill these holes so I can adjust it. I wasn't able to adjust the motor mesh because I didn't want to cut another notch in that chassis. So with this one, I'll be able to adjust motor mesh before or after I mount this everything down. As you can see, I got rust on here. It drives me nuts. I hate rust on my stuff. That little shed out there, that's where all of my toys were before I got the garage built. So that leaks and whatnot. So I can't. I'm gonna clean this up. I got to. That's gonna drive me nuts. So I'm gonna scrub all these down, lube them up, make it nice. Not all my RCs have rust. Only certain ones that I'm going to go through and clean up because that drives me nuts. I hate that. It makes it look like you don't care, which I'm not very good at cleaning them, but my stuff don't have rust. We're going to fix this. Cleaned up the screws. They ain't super rusty no more. It was a lot of surface rust. They actually came off pretty easily. Hit it up with some WD. Should be good. Hell yeah. And it mounts right up on here with these two little nipples. Gotta put those screws in. And then I'm thinking about the diff housings on here are still in the plastic around here, but the insides are metal. I might take these and put them on here just because it is 12S. Let's deck it out, man. Alright, so I did mount this down, but I noticed that the motor was pitched up. It's actually hitting right here, because this motor is huge. Like, it's bigger than that can. So, it's actually hitting right here and pushing the motor up, and I don't want any tension on that motor, because that's not cheap. So I'm actually going to just cut this right here, because this is just a piece of metal here that you can take off, but I want to leave it up here. So I'm just going to cut it straight across here and just take this little piece out so the motor don't push. Boom. Just gonna clean that up a little bit, put a little paint on it, maybe. It's aluminum. But yeah, good. It would have been a cleaner cut if I wasn't lazy and didn't want to take off that entire plate, but I didn't get the chassis or nothing, so we're good. I cut it a little bit and just popped it right off. So now the motor should sit flat. I need to get rid of all this metal flake, but hell yeah. Boom. Shit's level now, because like I said before, with this piece of metal under here, like you can see, like it don't even slide under there. It was pushing the motor up, and like I said, last thing I want to do is mess that motor up. But good to go. Next up, we're gonna mount honestly, the rest of it should be pretty easy. Just gotta put the battery trays in, swap the front and rear ends over, and mount the ESC mount. The mount I made is a piece from an old Baja chassis that was bent. I think what I'm gonna do is still use this, but the problem is when this is flat, I need a spacer here. They make a plate you can use and stuff, but budget. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is figure out how big I need to, or how high it needs to be right above here. And then I'm gonna take one of these old mounts I don't need. I think I'm gonna cut it off, bore this hole out so a screw can go through, but use it as a spacer here on each side, or yeah, on each side. So these two will be the same length, these will be smaller. Then that way I can put the spacers on and actually have it, because before it was just snug and I had to like kind of level it out with the screws. But if I cut these and make them into spacers, it should be good. I can just screw it down super tight. Makes sense in my brain. All right, so I cut that one bracket. I cut another bracket because this side has like two nipples sticking up. So I found one of the brackets that I was given over here. Where is it? Not this one. This is the one I just cut. Oh, here it is in the vise. You see, I cut one side off. This has an indent for that nipple to sit in, so I just cut the corner out. I had to bore the hole out with the drill press, and it just slipped right over, and the hole lines up perfectly. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm wasting... People might be like, you're wasting good parts. I don't need them, because the motor and ESC I got is way too big for them. So you know what? I cut them and use them to make it work. And it is super solid. Ain't going nowhere. Before, if I did that, I would have been a screw. So, hell yeah. So, boom, pretty much done. This is nice and mounted better with the spacers I made. I added the metal chassis front support here. Back here, I don't know if this is tweaked or what, but I cannot for the life of me get this rear brace in without really cranking on this. And this chassis is straight. I put a straight edge on it and it's not bent or tweaked in any direction. So I don't know if it's because this is from the original, or well, second version, the K&M version of the DBXL. But we're gonna rock it like this for a while, because I do have those other dips housings over there and stuff, or I'll figure something out for a brace. I'm not too worried about that yet. But yeah, so I still gotta mount this bad boy like so. Can't get over how big this ESC is. Huge. I do want to, if you guys notice, it's because these screws stick up a little bit, so I need to find flat screws, because these are countersunk but not not enough where it can sit flat. I think that's part of the reason why the original setup came loose. And again, I gotta strip this paint. I might get a new piece of metal because this is kind of held to, like, screws. The holes are really just random. But again, this is just like probably version 2 of this build, but I do want to like paint this and make it good. But we're gonna mount the ESC up on there after I sort the screws out. I did have to drill holes in this chassis for the original servo mount because the 2.0 has a different way to mount the servo. So I just took it from my old one, put the old chassis on the bottom of this one, marked where the holes were with a punch, drilled holes and mounted the servo. So I have steering. So good to go. Beautiful. But yeah, let me get the ESC mounted, put the body on. I'm gonna run those tires for now. I was running Badlands, but I blew one of the rims up, so I have to order new Badlands. But we're gonna rock with those. I forget what they're called, them MX whatever, I don't know. But we're gonna throw those on there, and yeah, should be good to go. And then I still need to run the moto. It's still crappy out, but next week on my days off, it's gonna be 70, 72, and 80. So yeah, we're gonna run a couple things next week, I think. There's a skate park nearby, and there's a track. So yeah, let me get this together. And well, boom, she is done. She's good to go. Everything's mounted up. Just gotta put the body on. And yeah, this is something that needed to get done. I'm gonna figure something out here for a chassis support in the rear. We'll figure that out later down the road, but finally be able to get it out. Not in this video, but it's gonna be beautiful in the next few days. I'm gonna get some things out. I wanna run that finally. So yeah, stay tuned, like, subscribe, follow along. I got big things coming, as I always say, and they're coming. Everything's happening. Probably do some live soon of just going over some RC cars after the move and cleaning them up and stuff. But step one, I want to do a chassis swap and we're good to go. So like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys soon.